Hey, I'm Carl Chapman and welcome to another unboxing video. This time we'll be looking at the remote building DLB 515 kit from WifiGear. So what do we get in the kit? We have a wireless access point, the Infinity NFT2AC. We have two DLB 515 AC units for that wireless bridge. We also have two poles for the pole mounting of the radios onto walls. So let's have a little look inside. First of all, starting with the access point. Okay, so we're presented with installation guide or user guide, the wireless access point itself, which is nicely bubble wrapped. Going in there, we have a little template just to help you to attach it to a wall or ceiling if that's what you desire. We have UK mains lead, which works with the supplied PoE adapter. That's a 48 volt PoE adapter, and also two little screws and wall plugs for attaching that AP. Let's have a look. So the DLB 515 AC radios, if I open this up, there's another quick start guide. We have the stations themselves, again bubble wrapped. We have PoE adapter with UK mains lead, different voltage and wattage to the wireless access point. Also worth noting, actually, a lot of people want to try and power these with their 802.11 AF switches. This is 24 volt, 10 watts. So that does mean you're not going to be able to, or you're very unlikely to be able to power it from your switch because it may not have that power requirement. So you will likely need to use the supplied PoE adapter. Also, Jubilee clip for attaching that to the poles. Let's move that box out of the way, keep the desk nice and clear. With the poles, there is installation manuals. I mean, it's very simple. Nuts and bolts, as well as obviously the poles and part of the wall mounting arm. There is no wall plugs or screws for attaching this to the wall, so that will need to be supplied by yourselves. So let's have a little look at the physical attributes. We'll start with the wireless access point and then we'll move on to 515 AC. So aesthetically, it's pleasing, has quite a nice honeycomb texture to it. Small form factor, smaller than my Sky Hub at home at least. Very light, but again, I mean, you're using these inside, so you haven't got to worry about having them outside. It has 3 Ethernet ports, all gigabit ports, one of which is your PoE if you want to power it via PoE. Otherwise, you can use a 9 volt, a standard DC adapter. Serial MAC information is on the bottom, and there's LED indicators. There we go. LED indicators which let you know that it's powered on, as well as if you're using 2.4 or 5 gigahertz frequencies, and also if anything's connected to the LAN ports. The very small form factor, DLB 515 AC, comparable to the size of my hand. This is an IP65 radio. It has a integrated molded arm part there. One of the big differences between this and the 520 AC, when you attach this to the Jubilee, it's fixed pitch. You can't adjust it, so you'd have to adjust the pole to get that to angle up or down. Whereas with the 520 AC, you can actually adjust that at the radio end. Serial MAC on the rear, LED indicators down the side let you know that's powered on, if it's connected to the network, and also the signal strength. And yeah, at the bottom is where you'll find the Ethernet port, which is closed behind that grommet. The poles, heavy steel, you know, I'm not in a million years I'm going to be able to bend this, but yeah, more than sturdy enough to house a LigoWave DLB radio, no problems asked. Okay, so now looking at the technical aspects of the kit, we'll start with the wireless access point. So this is a Wi-Fi 5 or 802.11ac access point. Speeds capable of over a gigabit, 1.167 gigabits per second. You also have the LAN giggy ports there. Range is supposed to be up to 100 meters in one of these, but obviously that's dictated by client devices. So typically you may have this potentially dispersed in 50, 80 meters, depending on how many clients you have connected to it. But ideal in the small business environment or remote office. In fact, actually, talking very quickly about the management, I'll go into that in a bit. With the Infinity controller, you can have 50 of these managed and a single pane of glass, but I'll talk more about that in a moment. The DLB 515 AC units, so smaller but less power than the 520 AC. This is a 15 dBi antenna with a 35-degree beam width, making it a little bit noisier than the 520 with its 16 degree. It's a Wi-Fi 5 chipset again, with speeds of over 500 megabits per second, as well as having the IPO3 technology to make it more efficient in congested areas, and it comes with 128-bit AES encryption. So let's look at the management for the equipment. I briefly mentioned it earlier, but the Infinity controller is our preferred way of managing these. You can do it standalone without the Infinity controller, but there's no reason why you wouldn't want to use the Infinity controller, as that's getting all the new updates and bells and whistles. You can manage up to 50 of these free of charge on that system. If you want to see what the GUI looks like, have a little look on LigoWave's website or follow a link from WifiGear. The DLB, on the other hand, you can manage it in the Infinity controller. However, we advise to, at least for now, use the LigoOS, as it's a lot more configurable, and it's how we configure these radios ourselves. Warranty. All LigoWave comes with 3-year extended warranty. It's very good and sturdy kit, but for the ones who do have problems, we do have our RMA procedure at WifiGear, so if you were to have a problem, that's not a problem, we can get that rectified. We've been working with LigoWave for over a decade, and we have a very low rate of failure. So that's what's in the kit, that's the technical, how it all looks. What I haven't covered is typical use cases. Well, I mean, as the name suggests, it's designed for remote building. That is, a lot of people have now gone remote working from home, so they may have a garden office and they need to connect their home network to the outhouse. Point-to-point radios, and then the wireless access point will go into that outside office. But it's not limited to remote office. You may want to use it for actually connecting up 2 offices together. So it does have a wider portfolio of use cases than just purely the remote building. Or if you wanted to get started on your CCTV network and then equally use one of these at one end inside the office, you can do, just to save a few pounds rather than buying the equipment individually. But any questions, give us an email, sales@wifigear.co.uk. Alternatively, use a live chat on our website or give us a phone. Okay, see you again.